Well, good morning, everyone. How are you? And welcome to another live this morning. I got my toque on because it's snowing here in Sudbury. And I said, okay, so let's see. As you get your notifications, Q&A Friday, we always have a good time. Lots of good questions to get to today. So let's say hello and let's see. Andrea, I can see your name on my device. Welcome. Sandy from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Janice from Brampton, good morning. Rosalinda, the kidneys of Canada. Sandy, Chilliwack, British Columbia. And there's our mayor, Kevin. Hope you're feeling better, Kev. Fran, Bonnie, Little Britain, Francis Marie, good morning to you. Yes. Arlene, how are you? Nice to have you on. Beverly, New Brunswick. Brahim, how are you, my friend from Portland, Oregon, having his coffee this morning? Joanne, bonjour d'Ottawa. Lucille, how are you? Flooding in Portland. Well, we're praying, Brahim. Grace, sunny Newfoundland. Karen, Innisfil. Dave, how are you? Madeleine, Kippawa, Quebec, bonjour. Marla, Oregon. Karen and Sault Ste. Marie, Yolande. I've been waiting for you, Yolande. Cindy, Bonnie, how are you? And Dennis, good morning to you. Maria from Ottawa. And let's see, Brahim said he was in the clouds. Marianne, London, Lee, Sudbury. Miserable weather in Sudbury today and yesterday. Catherine, Patricia, Pulaski, Tennessee. Darlene, how are you? From Alberta. Elaine from St. John's, Newfoundland. We love saying hello. Hi, Nellie. Linda, New Brunswick. Maureen, our dear friend from Boca Raton, Florida. Iget Camide, bonjour. Patricia saying hello. Diane in Peterborough. Dorothy, how are you? In Point Vedra, Florida, where it will be 67 degrees today. Well, it sucks to be the rest of us. Hi, Carol. Cheryl, Gail, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Judy, Port Perry. Nativity, freezing rain. Yeah, here too. Anna, we got snow and getting colder. Linda, high of 85 today in Florida. Lisa, Denise, couple of more guys before we get going. There's Wendy from Markham. Dave from Cardiff. Carol said she was up in the clouds. Is Fran up in the clouds? Beverly, Yvonne, is Doc McEwen up in the clouds? I don't know. Cecilia, Joanne from Eganville, Marcia, Arizona. Must be nice there too. Gloria from New York. John, our friend from Elgin, Illinois. Lisa Marie, how are you? Lori from Alberta. Guys, thanks for coming on. Mary. Karen, how are you? And Wanda from Virginia. And Brenda. Guys, we love you so much. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for saying hello when you can. And I like it because I see it right on my screen. Why? I don't know. Sandy from Vancouver, Washington, and Milika in the clouds. Arlene, saying hello to Elaine. And Eileen from Brampton. Okay, guys, ready to go? Lori, how are you from Cambridge? Kydro, I'm a 54-year-old female, so discouraged. I live on EMC, eggs, meat, and cheese, mostly so that my cholesterol is out of range. I was not worried about it till this point recently. I developed high blood pressure. Okay. your doctor's saying that's because your cholesterol is high. Well, Hydro, I hate to go against what your doctor says, but you do not get high blood pressure from high cholesterol. There's never been any correlation between the two. I'm sorry, it's just not true. Okay, and look, all due respect to your doctor. You tell your doctor personally that Dr. Martin loves you and you're sincere, but you're sincerely wrong. There's no correlation between cholesterol and blood pressure. Now, blood pressure going up, that's not good. Okay, that's not good. I don't like high blood pressure. Now, by the way, and I've talked about this for a long time, high blood pressure is usually too much sugar, so it's not the case with you. And you could be under a lot of stress. I don't know you, and that's possible. And look, you got to deal with high blood pressure, for sure. And you could be dehydrated. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons that blood pressure can go up. One of the biggest ones is stress. Cortisol. Now, it's not cholesterol. And cholesterol is good for you. And they try and make it a bad guy. And who else? Somebody asked, because I went through this really quickly. Somebody's asking here. Okay, let me just see, because I want to answer the second question. Okay, it's Joni. And she's saying, in one of your podcasts a month or so ago, you mentioned new research on cholesterol. Cannot find it. You know what? I talk about cholesterol every day. New research on cholesterol. Let me look it up. We usually send an email. So I might have sent an email. Joni, look, I mean, go on podcast, okay? Go on your smart device and look at the Doctor Is In podcast. You'll see over 100 podcasts on cholesterol. And I mentioned a lot of research in there. Specifically, let me see if I can find what you're talking about. The most recent, maybe. I know they did a meta-analysis on cholesterol, and, you know, it wasn't very flattering to statin drugs, okay? So, all I find is research is saying that cholesterol should be lowered to prevent heart disease and dementia. Yeah, I talk about that every day. Is there a day going by that I don't talk about what I call the cholesterol scam? Blaming cholesterol for the bad guy, being the bad guy and the boogeyman. Hey, it's been going on a long time, and the whole world went saturated stupid. And they wanted to lower cholesterol, and what has that done for heart disease? Absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, heart disease is worse than ever. We're looking for love in all the wrong places. They're vilifying fat. Did you see the new research? I'll post it after. On eating cheese and cream. What did I tell you guys all the time? Eat fat. I wrote a book. Eat fat, get lean. And I mean it. It's so good for you. Okay, now, let me just see here. Back to, look, I don't want to sound like I'm a nutcase, but I am. When it comes to cholesterol, I don't look at it the same way. I'm sorry. And I tell you guys this probably every Friday. I'm sorry. You can't convince me. Because I've been steady on this for years and years and years. They were looking for love in all the wrong places. I've given you the history of cholesterol, why they went that way. Over one researcher, one guy. And then the food industry got involved. The pharmaceutical industry got involved. And they made cholesterol a bad guy. And now they make up another one because They, over all the years of lowering LDL, because they found a drug to lower LDL cholesterol, and what did that do? Not much. It just made people diabetes. If you want to talk about dementia, if you want to get dementia, lower your cholesterol. Your head is, your brain is made up of fat. Your brain is made up of cholesterol. Why do you want to get rid of it? So don't get discouraged. I know the doctor, well, the high blood pressure, okay. Okay, I get that part of it, but it's not coming from your cholesterol. I'm sorry. It's not. Okay, let me see here. She's saying, I take most of your supplements. Good for you. I do exercise 3 to 5 times a week. I'm actually underweight. How are you feeling, Kydro? You feeling good? You go to the gym, and now you're going to let a doctor discourage you? And, I'm not well, and you're scared skinny? Are you going to let that happen to you? Don't let that happen to you. And your blood pressure isn't that high, by the way, when I look at it. Send me your numbers, okay? info@martinclinic.com. Put, hey, Dr. Martin wanted to see those numbers. Let me see. I'm looking for what were your triglycerides? Were they high? Was your HDL low? That's what I look at. Okay, that was Kydro. And that was, who else was I asking there about? Joni. Okay. There you go. I answered 2 questions at once. Carolyn, do you like glycine as a supplement? No. No, I don't. Look, you want to take glycine? I got no problem with it. Why don't you eat glycine? You know how it's an amino acid. You know how you get it? Eggs, meat, and cheese. Why do you need to take a supplement? Look, there's something, you know me, I like certain supplements, you know that. But when you can eat the supplement, when you can eat it instead of taking it, like glycine, yeah, like it's got some, I like glycine, of course, it's an amino acid, of course I like it. You take bone broth, you got glycine in it. You eat a steak, it's got glycine in it. You eat eggs, it's got glycine in it. You eat cheese, it's got glycine in it. You want to have some glycine because you're saying for sleep? Well, then have a little piece of cheese before you go to bed. You know what I mean? Look, there's some things I would rather you eat. If you want to take a supplement, go for it. I'm not going to get a headache over it. I won't. You know, some people like that specific supplement. Not me. Not glycine. Not as a, I like it, but not alone. Eat it. There you go. That was Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. Jeff, I answered this last week, but I'll do it again. Does Dr. Martin have views on using peptides, especially BP157? That's made out of gastric juices. Yeah, there seems to be some real good research on peptides, okay? And injectable. I don't know so much about the oral, whether they're as effective. The jury is still out on that. But it seems to have some good research. Dr. Martin Jr. has done a deep dive on these peptides, and he tells me he likes what he's seen thus far, and as an injectable. Okay, you got to remember, like Wegovy and the other GLP, those are peptides. Do I like those? Okay. Be careful with them. There's so many side effects. But the BPC 157 and that doesn't seem to have a lot of side effects other than good things. But again, it's early. Okay? You ask, I'm going to tell you what I know. Not much yet. Sharon, Hashimoto's. Can a person overcome this? Yes, I've seen it. Okay? Hashimoto's is an autoimmune when the body fights the thyroid. It's a cell, auto. It starts destroying thyroid tissue, and the body turning on the thyroid. It turns on itself. Look, here's what I've done. I've got a protocol for Hashimoto's I had in my office for years. And that is all of the above, I used to tell these patients. Any autoimmune, start with the gut. Leaky gut, leaky thyroid, okay? Hashimoto's or Graves'. Graves' is the opposite, where your eyes are bulging out and your thyroid is taking off. Hashimoto's is the thyroid slows to a crawl, very fatigued, low energy, pale, just very lethargic, that kind of thing. I did well with this in terms of a protocol because I started with the gut, the diet, because it emptied the liver. That really helps the thyroid. The liver is very much connected to the thyroid. Hormones, oftentimes too much estrogen. We balance estrogen, progesterone, the food, insulin, eggs, meat, and cheese. Get off the sugars. When you do all of the above, it really did make, thyroid formula, because of selenium and because of the other ingredients I used to I still put in there. Like all of the above, and Navitol, vitamin D, really important for that thyroid too, okay? Is there anything that vitamin D doesn't do? No. Okay. That was Sharon. Thanks, Sharon. Kareem, recent diagnosis of invasive adenocarcinoma, and it starts in the epithelial cells and glands. Well, look, adenocarcinoma, any kind of carcinoma, any kind of cancer, okay? Again, I'm not talking about what medicine does. Medicine does their thing, you do your thing, or whatever. I always used to tell patients, you've got to help your body to fight cancer. Adenocarcinoma, any kind of cancer. Don't feed it. You got to start with food. Sugar free. No sugar. Okay? Cancer hates steak. And I mean it. The more nutritional value you have to your food, eggs, meat, and cheese. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Make yourself a Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie with heavy cream. Okay? And, excuse me, with the frog in the throat. Get your vitamin D levels optimized. Vitamin D needs to be optimized. In Canada, I always shot between 200, 250 for cancer, Canadian. The American numbers would be, 80 to 100 NG/NL. And all of the above. All of the above. My protocol, high DHA, curcumin, those are anti-cancer. There's some good research on that. There's actually more research on curcumin than there is DHA, but again, DHA is very good, okay? So high vitamin D, okay. That was Corrine. Thank you, Corrine. Linda, does apple cider vinegar help with insulin resistance taken at bedtime? I don't know so much about that. It does help with, I like apple cider vinegar. Okay, I do. It helps with your gastric juices. Insulin resistance, nothing like not eating. That helps insulin resistance. Like stop eating at 6 o'clock at night. That is a great habit, guys. If you can give yourself a lot of time before you fall asleep, before you go to bed at night, we talk about this all the time. It's really, really important. Like apple cider vinegar, I got no problem with it. You take a little bit, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Yeah, it's good for you, but I don't know so much for insulin resistance. Okay, maybe a little bit. I haven't seen good research on that, but I wouldn't be against apple cider vinegar. I kind of like it. Okay. Lucille, full-blown menopause after a hysterectomy. Fun, isn't it? Well, I would have you, Lucille, on our menopausal formula. Again, everything's connected, right? So if you can get bioidentical progesterone, I would recommend that, okay, which is very helpful. I wouldn't have you on any estrogen. I don't believe in that. That's me, okay? I don't like it. Because we're surrounded by those xenoestrogens. And, but do all of the above, Lucille. Like food is very important for hormones. It really has. Keep your liver empty. It really makes a difference there. And, you do that by laying off the sugars and the crappy carbohydrates. Okay. And, yeah, I like Navital. You'll be on that with me. High DHA for sure. Vitamin D, all of the above, Lucille. You'll feel better. Hey, you got Plan B. Even after a hysterectomy, you're still making hormones, Okay? Complete hysterectomy, but your adrenal glands kick in and make those estrogen and progesterone. Now, it's Plan B. It's not perfect. Carolyn. What do I think about creatine in terms of prevention of Alzheimer's? Yeah, maybe. There seems to be some good research. Remember creatine, okay? It's an amino acid. Eggs, meat, and cheese. You get creatine. Now this, I know you're talking about the creatine monohydrate. Yeah, there seems to be some good research on it. I got no problem with creatine. I really don't. And, but like I said, if you can eat your creatine, where do you get creatine? Okay. You get it from eggs, meat, and cheese. It's in the animal kingdom. Dairy, butter, steak, hamburger without the bun, you name it. Okay, so that's where creatine comes from. It's a C in the steak. Okay, you know me, I talk about that all the time. And so you got creatine, and you got carnitine. Okay. And you got CoQ10. Steak. Do I love it? Yeah. But yeah, creatine seems to have some good research on brain, and I like it. You want to take it as a supplement? Yeah, and I'd rather eat it. Okay? I'd rather eat it. Who knew that there was creatine? Right? Thanks, Carolyn. Cheryl, my naturopath did 2 blood tests and found I had 2 different markers concerning my liver. Okay. She suggested I take NAC. Yeah. Look, here's what's better for your liver than NAC, okay? Empty it. Empty your liver of the Costco parking lot, okay? That's what I call livers that are full. It's a Costco parking lot. If I go by Costco, we have a Costco just up the street here from me. If I go by Costco today, I'm going to tell you, like it's always packed, as soon as the doors open. And then today, near Christmas, like, are you kidding me? You're not going to get near it. And they got traffic cops directing traffic. But that is a liver that's full of fat. There's no more parking spot. Empty your liver. It'll only take you 6 days to start emptying that liver when you eat eggs, meat, and cheese. You see, insulin takes sugar and has to get it out of the bloodstream and park it somewhere. No room in the muscles, it'll go to the liver. And when the liver is full, it'll make more fat cells. So I like that better than NAC. Am I against NAC? No, I'm not against it. I'm just telling you. I get it, but they, like, I don't know if your naturopath even thinks about that, but I would change fuel. I would change the diet, especially if you got liver problems, okay? And then the body will do itself, because your liver is your major detox organ in your body. And keeping it empty, it will function properly. That was Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. I know you want to take a supplement of NAC. I've had people do it. It doesn't excite me. Okay, like vitamin D excites me. High DHA excites me. What I would say is even better than NAC is probiotics, because they help the liver big time, especially certain strains. So I would be higher on that. Now, Navitol also is very good because it elevates your glutathione. It elevates your nitric oxide. It's a powerful antioxidant. So you know what I mean? Like I got no problem with NAC, but that's not what I used in practice. Okay? And I don't dislike it. Tammy, how are you? What does Dr. Martin think about whole milk powder? Not much. Look, I know you want to have a whole milk. Like I'm not against it. It is called for in some recipes. Yeah, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? Concerned about the sugar. Well, they're not adding sugar, okay? But you know what I call milk? Grocery store milk. White Pepsi, okay? It's just because they take all the fat out of it. Now, as the powder got the fat in it, probably not bad for you. That's why I am so much bigger. And guess what? The research is bearing me out and telling me that I was right about this, okay? Fat. Full fat. That's what milk used to be, okay? Full fat. And I love full fat. I love cream more than milk. But I'm not going to have a heart attack if you use some whole milk powder in a recipe, okay? Better to have cream if you can. Joanne, that was Tammy. Joanne, I take 2 packets of Splenda every day. Don't do that. Can I discourage you? What do I think? Well, I don't really like Splenda. Here's what we know, okay, that we didn't know, let's say 40 years ago or 50 years ago, okay? I always had a question mark when they came to aspartame and all that. I said, nah, we're going to find out. down the road. It's not probably the best stuff that was ever. You know, when man does something, man does good things, but not always. When it comes to substitutes, I'd rather you put a little bit of maple syrup in your coffee than you put Splenda in it. And I mean that. But I'd rather you drink it black, to be honest. Splenda, here's what we know about it. It will affect your microbiome. Okay? Now, how much does it take to affect your microbiome? Well, I don't know. We're just getting there. But anyway, like I said, if Joanne, let me always look at the big picture. And I want you drinking coffee. You know that, okay? And I always talk about, don't rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic, okay? For someone that's in really bad metabolic shape, I said, don't get into the weeds. Cut out all the sugars. Cut out all the crappy carbs. Start with that. And tens of thousands of patients have told me over the years, you know what, Dr. Martin? I started out, I still needed Splenda in my coffee. I stopped putting milk in it. I used cream if I needed. And a lot of patients, what they did eventually, you know what, I don't even need that Splenda. And anyway, like I said, I'm not going to make a federal case out of it, but I'm not too worried. But I got to just tell you, it's not the greatest thing to do, okay? It's not the best thing to do, but I want you to succeed, so I don't want you to fail. I'm not going to have a conniption over it, okay? Is it good for you? Nah, not really. Okay. Peggy is asking about stem cell shots. Well, I don't know. I read all about them. Big 5-10 years ago, put the stem cells and they regrow. And I don't know. Like, I think it's been sort of 50-50. A lot of people like it, and a lot of people said it didn't do a thing for me. It's very expensive therapy. I don't know. I don't know. From what I'm seeing, it's 50-50. You got the money, you want to try it and spend it, you go ahead. But it hasn't been the it hasn't been the cure-all for bad joints or whatever. It certainly hasn't. Okay, and you got a degenerative joint. It might help to some extent, but I haven't seen it to be fantastic. I really haven't. Okay. Thank you, Peggy. Okay. Linda. Oh, we love those Lindas. I would appreciate hearing Dr. Martin's thoughts on TUDCA and AHCC when you can't pronounce it. Yeah, I've heard about it. Look, it's an antioxidant, bile salt, right? It's at least the TUDCA is a bile salt. Yeah, I'm not against it. I like digestive enzymes better, to be honest, to put all those different enzymes in there. I don't know. I haven't seen enough research on it to be dogmatic about it. Hey, you want to try it? I don't know. The AHCC, I read about it, I don't know, maybe months ago, somebody showed me something on it. And it's a powerful antioxidant. I don't know. I use my antioxidants, okay? Because the most powerful antioxidant in the world is coffee. So everything there I compared to that. Pine bark, that's my familiarity. Okay? I've never seen an antioxidant supplement better than that. I just haven't. All the years, I've never seen anything better than pine bark extract or anything as researched as much as pine bark extract. Okay? There's a lot of research on pine bark extract. And I wrote books on it because I used it in my practice for years and years, 30, 35 years. And I had my life threatened when I ran out of it. Like probiotics today. Dr. Martin, your probiotics are the best. Yeah, I know that. I'm going to kill you if you don't get them. Okay? Okay. I got security. I got my grandsons around me. They're big. You're gonna have to get through them to get to me. No, but I get it. Like, and then I see new kids on the block, like, oh, this is the most powerful antioxidant in the world. And says who? Right? Says who? I'm giving you my clinical experience. And then you want to get to research. There's tons of research on it. Okay? And I just found nothing better. So when somebody talks to me about an antioxidant, I'll tell you about two things. I'll tell you about coffee, and then I'll tell you about pine bark extract. Find me something better. I don't think it exists. If you find something better, let me know. And that's why I want you to ask your questions. But I compare everything. That's what I do, okay? And that was good. That was from, let me see. Who was that from? I can't even remember now. Linda. Linda. We love Lindas. Listen, Linda, listen. This is Richard. Is a live blood analysis worth it? Depends. Okay? It's a tool in the toolbox. It's not everything. Unfortunately, when I trained a practitioner to do live blood cell analysis, and I trained lots, I always told them it's a tool in the toolbox. It does not eliminate all the blood work, because I'm big on blood work. You want to read all about it? Get my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel. I talk about it all the time. I said, here's the 8 blood tests that you need to get. Live blood, it's not on that list, but I did live blood. I taught live blood. I did live blood. I taught live blood analysis. But I was always emphasizing something. Not everything is found in live blood. It's a tool. So it depends who the practitioner is. When a practitioner tells you they see everything in a live blood test, run, Forrest, run, because it's not true. And you don't want to dismiss your blood work, because if you look at your blood work the right way, and I tell you how to interpret that, I tell you what test to ask for your doctor to get, I tell you how to look at it and I'm not telling you to be a doctor, but I'm telling you to how to navigate through blood work. Live blood, did I use it? For years in my office. But I didn't guess on the other test. I tested. I wanted to see your blood work. And so I'm very careful to endorse live blood testing. Why? Because practitioners, a lot of them, they think it's everything. They can see everything in there. They can see cancer. They can see this, that, and the other thing. I don't believe that. Okay? But you can see, I used to teach them, look at numbers, because you can do a quick count of the red blood cells. Look at the shapes of them. Look what's in the blood serum. You can see mast cells, and you can see, and oftentimes live, you could actually see a white blood cell chasing a bacteria. That was fun. Okay? And you could, if they came in on a fasting, and that's the only way to look at blood, if you're not fasting in a live blood cell, they've been trained the wrong way. You got to fast. Because you don't want to see all that undigested fat or protein in the blood. You don't want to see that. It'll mess up your testing. And a lot of practitioners, they don't even tell you to fast. I could tell by doing live blood that if you were fasting and I saw a mountain, I used to do this with patients, okay? Like, I turned around to people and said, "You just ate." I said, "You just ate. You weren't supposed to eat. You were supposed to come in fasting." Well, I said, because I'd be looking at their blood and there'd be a boatload of fat in their blood. You just ate. And a lot of them, I said, "Don't lie, okay? Admit it." Or they had really bad digestion. Okay, really bad. But live blood done without fasting, why would you do that? You're going to have a whole bunch of stuff in your serum, and how can you see anything? Anywho, okay. And you're going to get the rouleau, which is the red blood cells clumped together. Well, of course they're going to be clumped together if you just ate. Anyway, that's Richard. Okay, let me see. Bev, could Dr. Martin talk about black cohosh? I like black cohosh. I don't like it alone. I like our menopausal formula. Put everything together. I'm a formulator. My son is a formulator. The best in the world, by the way, in my opinion. Okay? Top notch. Okay? His background's in biochemistry. And I like black cohosh. There's some good research on it when it comes to, menopausal symptoms. I like DIM to knock down the estrogen. Doesn't mean it knocks it out. It just knocks it down. And it knocks down those xenoestrogens. Okay? How safe is it to take? Yeah, you take black cohosh. I got no problem. 68, and I've had them over 18 years. Hot flashes. Yeah, no fun, huh? No fun. And usually somebody that really had trouble with them, there's no magic. No magic. You do all of the above and take care of yourself and do everything you can and put it on your side. And again, I used to, when I was in practice, I said, look, here's what I want you to do. Do all of the above. Get yourself in really good health. And, I was very, very specific in my protocols, in menopausal, postmenopausal, hormones coming out the ears, hot flashes, all of the above. I looked at everything. I would go within that, that what I call my pyramid: estrogen, progesterone, the adrenals, the cortisol, the insulin, and the thyroid. I put it all together. I attached it over to the liver, and I talked about all of that within that to help. And again, I put my protocol up against anybody's when I was in practice. Okay? And I used to teach gynecologists, here's what you do. If they would listen. Okay? Some of them listened. It was amazing. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got, you know what? I'll look at the other ones because I think I got 3 or 4 more here. Yeah, I do. Okay. I didn't answer all of them, but, okay, we're out of time. Okay, so we'll get to those on Monday. Maybe we'll do Monday with a few questions to finish up here, and we'll see. And then maybe some news or whatever. Okay, guys, we love you, and we will talk to you soon. Did you get your book yet? Okay. You get your new book? Okay. Rebuild your temple. Numero uno. Thank you guys for that. We appreciate it. Talk to you soon.